All right, all right, all right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week of my weekly stock picks. This is for the week of March 8th. Wow, rough week. Ended on a good note, though. Ended on a very green day. Had a great big bounce on Friday, so kind of gave us a little bit of idea of possibly a few things to come. So let's go ahead and jump into the SPY chart. So I moved my little lines across. I thought I was going to bounce around kind of here and then maybe go break down. So we did have a breakdown on Thursday, and we even touched this green box just barely. So now looking at this, I'm kind of in between two minds here. What that means is if you look the 382 we didn't hit, right? There's a big, we're missing a little bit here. A couple, what is this? So from 72 to 66, so we're missing about 8 points right there. Sorry, 6 points right there. So it's close enough where that could be it. So a possibility is that this now came back up into this and bounced up the support. So we could now come up here and then bounce back down again, or we could even break through this resistance. But right now, so I'm kind of stuck between those two. There's also a possibility that we kind of get, that it bounces down. It came down here. We're going to bounce back up and then go back down. So something along those lines. So there's a lot going on in the market right now. All I can say is this is a tough time to kind of forecast and predict. Again, next week is going to be a good time to. I personally feel we rally next week. It's the week after I'm concerned about. Do we drop back down again and go into this kind of buy zone here, or do we just keep on going? Is this sufficient right here? Go in here, and then now it's been a big enough correction. We can move on. That's what I'm not sure of. There's a lot of things going in the market: treasury rates, bond rates, the stimulus. Let's say we bounce, and then we start to go down. We get the stimulus news. We can bounce back up. Who knows? So we need to keep an eye on here. If this is true, that makes this a wave four. Wave fours usually take a little while and kind of consolidate and then decide what it wants to do. You're kind of seeing that here. It's kind of consolidating down slowly, and so I'm still leaning towards this week. I could see us next week having a rally, like 4 out of 5 days being green, something like that. So definitely keep an eye on this. Sorry, I spent a lot more time on the SPY chart than I usually do because of the market conditions. So let's just keep an eye on it. I think, like I said, next week is more green than red, but I still see more red ahead. So red ahead. That's odd saying, but yeah, I see us going kind of down to one of these buy zones. So I don't think the pain is over just yet. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into my to the two winners and a loser. Like last week, same ones. Fisker, last week's 90%, lost half its value, but still up 43% from when I introduced it to you guys. And then Chevron is up 22% from the point of introduction, so not too bad. And of course, our biggest loser of the week is NIO with a minus 38%. But that was only saved because of today, where it got a little bit back. But is NIO a loser? No. I think these are great opportunities to buy. I think over the next 5-10 years, NIO will take off and become a very, very good stock that we will look back at February and March of 2021 and say, man, why didn't I buy more? So I have been buying a lot of NIO. I've been buying a lot of stuff on this dip. So just keep an eye on these guys. These are good opportunities for your long-term portfolio, not your trading portfolio. So, okay. All right, stock picks of the week are Intel, Spirit Aerosystems, Kraft Heinz, and Deere. As always, I will provide you the type of setup, the buy zone, the cut loss, the price target, and I will provide you the different graphs that you can use and see what I'm seeing. As you can see here, we're having a couple on wave 3 and one of them on wave 5, so that's pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. So Intel has been kind of strange. I've been watching that. I have a long-term call with them, and they didn't drop the way a lot of these other big tech names did. It kind of held. So I showed Intel a couple weeks ago, and I'm showing it again because I still think it's on this wave 3. It didn't drop. It didn't show huge anything like that with with the way the markets have been lately. So I'm sticking with this prediction and this wave count. So looks good to me. As you can see here, it's actually starting to curl back up, and we're hoping to see some strength throughout this next week. It's very oversold. So hopefully to like push that back up next week, and we got some positive things on the Ichimoku Cloud. So I see good things for Intel. Okay, let's go to Spirit Aerosystems, one of the biggest manufacturers or suppliers for Boeing. So far, they look pretty good. They're about a little bit past halfway point on wave 3. Like I said, during the past couple weeks, where they've been doing quite well. Kind of see a little iffy here on the Ichimoku Cloud. A little bit on the overbought, so I'd like us to see us dip first, and then you buy in, and then you can catch the finish of this wave 3. But things are looking good with them. They've been on a nice long. Let's take a look here. Yeah, nice little, nice, very strong uptrend. So keep an eye on that. All right, next one is Heinz Ketchup, Kraft and Heinz. Okay, so KC is, like I said, past couple weeks have done pretty well. They're moving up. One of those value plays. I just everybody needs these type commodity type goods. Ketchup. All the stuff that Kraft makes and macaroni and cheese and whatnot. So those have been very popular lately, and the stock has been doing quite well. I mean, from 31, a nice run to 38. That's 20%, almost over 20% right there. So let's see if we can catch this on the end. Indicators are looking, I believe they look strong. Yeah, this one's the one that squeezing a little, is kind of going sideways. You can see here, and it's seeing kind of a bigger cloud moving forward. It's oversold. It's kind of touching this line, but we want to see it bounce off next week. So I think we have a good shot at that. So let's keep an eye on Kraft Heinz. I think it's a strong chance of it running and finishing off wave 3. All right, and the last one is Deere, John Deere. Okay, so for this one, it has been doing very strong. Been a huge uptrend. Indicators look good. It's going down a little bit, so I expect a little bit of a dip, but as you can see here, it just keeps on going up. I mean, it's just very strong, very positive. It's just keeps going, and you're not seeing a lot of weakness here. So if you're not seeing weakness right now, why stop it? It did come down a bit, and I think it's going to bounce. It could consolidate a bit, so maybe watch what it does for the first couple hours of Monday morning. So see if there's a dip buying opportunity, and then see if it races back up. So John Deere to finish off wave 5 is looking good. All right. Let's look at the honorable mention picks. So Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft is a big tech name, but it did not lose value the way a lot of these other big tech names did, like AMD and Apple and Tesla and stuff like that. So the one good thing is that there's a gap above to fill. That looks good. As you see here, I mean, it went down to 225. That's what it was, 3 weeks ago? Like, that's not bad. Back in, it's not to its January low, so it still kept some profits for 2021 already. So, there's a good chance that it climbs back up, fills this gap next week. So this might be a play here. Indicators don't look, I don't like that it crossed here. It's kind of heading down, but it does. If you look here, it's curving a little bit. That it's just not ready for a stock pick yet. So this is high risk, high reward. If you get in and it ends up going off, that's a great pickup. So, but very high, pretty high risk. So, all right, I mentioned earlier that Spirit is a big supplier for Boeing. Boeing's actually doing pretty good. It crossed about here and it's been heading up, and the cloud ahead looks a little interesting. Not quite sure on what to make of that. But, so far it's looking strong. It is dipping a little bit on the squeeze indicator. MACD, dipped down a little bit. I think we could see that come back up. I think next week, maybe it goes down a little bit more. And then the following week, if tech does drop again and we do see the correction continue, then I can see Boeing continue to go up. Boeing is one of those value names that has not, ran the way that some of these other tech names have. And, during the COVID spree, I guess. So definitely keep an eye on Boeing. There might be a buying opportunity this week. So high risk, high reward, All right, let's see what's next. PSX. So this kind of follows in with the whole, energy names have been big right now. I do see it coming up in a wave 3. It might, come down for a 4. So like I said, a quick pop in the morning all the way up to, 90, and then drops back down the rest of the week. that would seem kind of in line with what I'm thinking. I think that's my forecast, is that next week we have more green days than red, but the following week we continue on that correction. I don't know if that's the exact timeline, but I see that happening. So I would keep an eye on this. It hasn't broken trend. Every time it touches this line, it seems to bounce off it. So let's see if it can do it again. Kind of climb up, climb back down, and maybe bounce off. But eventually we're hoping it comes down to 4, so we can have a nice pickup for the 5 maybe next week or the week after. All right, let's see. Last one is Apple. So this one is very high risk, very high reward. Apple right now, if you look at it, it just looks very weak. From the point where it got to 145, it has done nothing but go down for about a month. So that kind of sucks. If anybody who owned Apple calls was pretty upset. So you're starting to see a little turn here. It's not looking real strong. It's sliced through the cloud, and it's on the not on the good side. However, if you take a look at the 4-hour, you start to see some more encouraging signs. You start to see this come up. You start to see we could be coming up. The squeeze indicators all red. This is coming up. You're starting to see it. Maybe that bullish cross is gonna happen next week. So, like I said, this all falls into my forecast that next week we have more green days than red. I could be wrong, but this is kind of what I'm reading from the market overall. Is next week we recover a bit, and then we go back down. Like, the correction is not done. I think I don't know if that's considered dead cat bounce, since it's overall we won't recover what we lost next week. But I see us having a nice strong push next week, followed by some people say, okay, well, I broke even, I want to get out with cash, and so that will make the prices go down the following week. That's kind of where I'm seeing it. I don't know if I'm right, but that's what I'm sticking with, and I'm putting my name out there and saying, hey, at least I'm putting out a prediction. So that's what I'm seeing, guys. All right, so this is my honorable mention picks of the week, and as of course I always give you stock picks with their buy zones, cut loss, price target. If you guys have any questions, please message me. I always try to get back to you or leave comments. This week's gonna be really interesting. Like I said, I'm really hoping I'm right and that it's a good week. But don't think that this is over. We don't have any real sign that says, yep, we're done. We're ready to go on this bull run. So let's be careful out there. Remember that these bearish times or these bear markets are very short, but they are very volatile. They drop very fast. So, and we've seen that in the last 3 weeks. So I think it's time to start getting things going, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it's fully over yet. So be careful out there. I hope we have a green week, and let me know if you guys have any questions. Please give me a follow at Don'tFeedBear on Twitter, and then I'll talk to you guys next week. All right, talk to you soon.